A man goes to the doctor with a swollen leg. After a careful examination, the doctor gives the man a pill big enough to choke a horse. "I'll be right back with some water," the doctor tells him. The doctor has been gone a while, and the man loses patience. He hobbles out to the drinking fountain, forces the pill down his throat, and gobbles down water until the pill clears his throat. He hobbles back into the examination room. The doctor comes back with a bucket of warm water and says, "Okay, after the tablet dissolves, soak that leg for at least 30 minutes. The other day, I accompanied my wife when she went to the parlor for a haircut. Reading a magazine in the reception area, I found an interesting article. I asked the receptionist if I could take the magazine next door to make a copy. "Leave some ID, a driver's license or a credit card," she said. "But my wife is here getting a haircut," I explained. "Yes," she replied, "but I need something you'll come back for." I thought my wife was testing me when she said, "Which do you prefer, a pretty woman or an intelligent woman?" I replied, "Neither of them. I prefer you." And that's how the fight started. I took my suit to the cleaners, who wanted to charge me $45. Instead, I gave my suit to the charity shop next door. They cleaned and pressed it and put it in the window. I bought it for $12.50. The madam opened the brothel door in Miami and saw a rather dignified, well-dressed, good-looking man in his late 40s or early 50s. "May I help you, sir?" she asked. The man replied, "I want to see Valerie." "Sir, Valerie is one of our most expensive ladies. Perhaps you would prefer someone else." He replied, "No, I must see Valerie." Just then, Valerie appeared and announced to the man she charged $10,000 a visit. Without hesitation, the man pulled out $10,000 and gave it to Valerie, and they went upstairs. After an hour, the man calmly left. In the next 2 nights, the man appeared again, demanding to see Valerie. After their 3rd session, Valerie said to the man, "No one has ever been with me 3 nights in a row. Where are you from?" The man replied, "St. Louis." "Really?" she exclaimed. "I have a family in St. Louis." "I know," the man said. "Your sister just died, and I am her lawyer. She asked me to give you your $30,000 inheritance." The Moo Juice Condensed Milk Company was having a jingle contest. What you had to do was fill out one of their entry cards with a jingle advertising Moo Juice. The entry blank had a phrase on it that said, "I like Moo Juice because... dash." You had to fill in the last phrase and have it rhyme. A young boy brought home some entry forms and he filled one out. His entry read, "I like Moo Juice because it comes in cans both small and tall." He left some entry forms on the table, and his sister saw one, filled it out, and mailed it in. 2 weeks later, the Moo Juice Company sent the sister a $1,000 check for the winning jingle. Her father asked her where she got the $1,000. She said that she had sent in the entry for the Moo Juice contest. The father said, "What did you say on that entry?" She said, "I wrote, I like Moo Juice because it comes in cans, both small and tall. No tits to squeeze, no ass to twitch, just punch a hole in the son of a bitch." The husband was not home at his usual hour, and the wife was fuming as the clock ticked later and later. Finally, about 3 a.m., she heard a noise at the front door, and as she stood at the top of the stairs, there was her husband, drunk as a skunk, trying to navigate the stairs. "Do you realize what time it is?" she asked. He answered, "Don't get excited. I'm late because I bought something for the house." Immediately, her attitude changed, and as she ran down the stairs to meet him halfway, she asked, "What did you buy for the house, dear?" He replied, "A round of drinks." The pilot safely performs an emergency landing in water and tells the passengers to remain seated and to keep the doors closed, stating that in emergency situations, the aircraft is designed to stay afloat for 30 minutes, giving rescuers time to get to them. Just then, a man gets out of his seat and runs over to open the door. The pilot screams at him, "Didn't you hear what I said? The aircraft is designed to stay afloat as long as the doors remain closed." "Of course I heard you," the man replied. "But it's also designed to fly, and look how good that one worked out." The doctor told a guy that wanking before having sex often helped men last longer during the act. The man decided, what the hell, I'll try it. He spent the rest of the day thinking about where to do it. He couldn't do it in his office. He thought about the restroom, but that was too open. He considered an alley, but figured that was too unsafe. Finally, he realized his solution. On his way home, he pulled his truck over on the side of the highway. He got out and crawled underneath as if he was examining the truck. Satisfied with the privacy, he undid his pants and started to wank. He closed his eyes and thought of his lover. As he grew closer to the big finish, he felt a quick tug at the bottom of his pants. Not wanting to lose his mental fantasy or the orgasm, he kept his eyes shut and replied, "What?" A male voice said, "This is the police. What's going on down there?" The man replied, "I'm checking out the rear axle. It's busted." The cop said, "Well, you might as well check your brakes too while you're down there because your truck rolled down the hill 5 minutes ago." A businessman rushed to the station just in time to catch the Rockhampton Express from Brisbane. After taking his seat, he asked the conductor when the train would arrive in Gladstone. "There are no stops in Gladstone on Wednesdays," the conductor replied. "What?" exclaimed the businessman. "There are no stops in Gladstone on Wednesdays." "But it's mandatory. I have an important meeting there." The conductor was adamant. "This is a weekly express, and there are no stops at Gladstone on Wednesdays." After much discussion, a compromise was reached. The conductor agreed to ask the train engineer to slow down to 60 miles per hour as the train passed through Gladstone. He would then hold the businessman by the window of the car. The businessman would run his legs through the air as fast as he could. When the conductor thought his leg speed was sufficient, he would set him down on the platform. When the train arrived in Gladstone, this plan was put into action, and the businessman ran to the platform at top speed. He ran to the end of the platform, hoping to stop himself before the end. Just as the last car of the train passed him, a switchman grabbed him by the collar and led him back onto the train through the open window. "Welcome aboard, my friend," the switchman said. "You're lucky I caught you. There are no stops at Gladstone on Wednesdays." The IRS decides to audit an elderly man and summons him to the IRS office. The IRS auditor was not surprised when the elderly man showed up with his attorney. The auditor said, "Well, sir, you have an extravagant lifestyle and no full-time employment, which you explain by saying that you win money gambling. I'm not sure the IRS finds that believable." "I'm a great gambler and I can prove it," says the man. "How about a demonstration?" The auditor thinks for a moment and says, "Okay, go ahead." The old geezer says, "I'll bet you $1,000 that I can bite my own eye." The auditor thinks a moment and says, "It's a bet." The man removes his glass eye and bites it. The auditor's jaw drops. The man says, "Now, I'll bet you $2,000 that I can bite my other eye." The auditor can tell the old man isn't blind, so he takes the bet. He removes his dentures and bites his good eye. The stunned auditor now realizes he has wagered and lost $3,000 with the man's attorney as a witness. He starts to get nervous. "Want to go double or nothing?" he asks. "I'll bet you $6,000 that I can stand on one side of your desk and pee into that wastebasket on the other side and never get a drop anywhere in between." The auditor, twice burned, is cautious now, but he looks carefully and decides there's no way this old guy could manage that stunt, so he agrees again. The old man stands beside the desk and unzips his pants, but although he strains mightily, he can't make the stream reach the wastebasket on the other side, so he pretty much urinates all over the auditor's desk. The auditor leaps with joy, realizing that he has just turned a major loss into a huge win. But old man's attorney moans and puts his head in his hands. "Are you okay?" the auditor asks. "Not really," says the attorney. "This morning, when the old man told me he'd been summoned for an audit, he bet me $25,000 that he could come in here and pee all over your desk and that you'd be happy about it." A leper goes to watch a baseball game, but when he gets there, he has trouble finding a seat. Because pieces of him are peeling and flaking off, he's very concerned about grossing out the other fans. The leper wanders through the bleachers looking for a seat where his grotesque appearance won't disturb anyone. Finally, he finds an open seat where he might be able to watch the game. He asks the man in the adjoining seat if it would be okay to sit there. The man answers, "Yeah, just sit down, shut up, and watch the game." The leper sits down and adds, As you can see, I have leprosy. If it disturbs you, I'll move." "It doesn't bother me. Just shut up and watch the game." A while later, during the fourth inning, the man suddenly vomits. Frothy beer, hot dogs, and peanuts are splattered everywhere. Seeing this, the leper gets up and says, "Thank you for allowing me to sit next to you, but I can see that my appearance has caused you to get sick. I'll find another place to sit." "It's not you. Just sit down, shut up, and watch the game." So the leper sits back down. But during the sixth inning, the man began to vomit again. This time, it is projectile vomitus. A powerful blast of beer and pretzels shoots out from the man's mouth and nose until his stomach is completely emptied. Seeing this, the leper gets up and says, "Thank you for allowing me to sit next to you, but it's obvious that my appearance has caused you to get sick. I'll find another place to sit." "Really, it's not you. Just sit down, shut up, and watch the game." So the leper sits back down. But during the seventh inning, the man began to vomit again. This time, it is the dry heaves. The leper feels absolutely awful at the sight of this man suffering. And once again, the leper offers to leave. But the man insists, "Really, it's not you." So the leper asks, "Well, if it's not me that is making you so sick, then what is it?" The man replies, "It's that guy behind you. He keeps dipping his nachos in your back."